stuff.
Gotcha.
All right, so let's talk about your cover letter.
Gotcha. Basically, it's to who is it? Oh, jeez. To Department of Homeland Security, and it's for like one of their internships. So I just wrote the cover letter. I based it off of the cover letter on the website, like
Right.
the template. So like the first paragraph isn't like word for word, but it's like it kind of like closely resembles it. So I figure like you might as well just get as close as you can to it without copying it. And then like their kind of description was like we were looking for independent creative thinkers with outstanding research, writing, and communication skills. We particularly desire individuals interested in working on federal executive policy initiatives at the nexus of civil rights and liberties. So basically, like my first paragraph, I talked about.
Great. Okay, so this is the description of what they wanted, and this is what you wrote.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So basically, like the first paragraph, I wrote about like one of my like not like heavily on my internship, but I drew on the things of like research, writing, and communication skills.
That's awesome.
So that's what I did. Like that's what I heard. Like you look for these keys.
That's exactly what you need to be doing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then the next one is we particularly desire like individuals, and then like the next one I kind of wrote like why I'm interested, like why I'm interested in your company, because it's like the federal government and like you know it's like a part of like law and stuff like that. Exactly. So it's kind of like another field that I was interested in.
Exactly. Would you say, before I get into reading it, are there any like concerns that you have or any questions you have, just so when I go through reading it, I kind of have an idea of what you're trying to fix?
Concerns, like, I always check for grammar, but I know the writing is really for that more of, but, like, just in case if you do see anything, or, like, anything just doesn't sound right.
Okay. Sure. So they got rid of this. So I'm just going to look at the header here real quick. Okay.
Because they
and you know this is the woman, right? That is going to be reading.
That's who it said. Emailed her. So is that the right way to like say like you write her name up here and then write to
exactly. Okay. That's 100% right. And this is the exact address, right? Yep.
Yes.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Even though it's going to be sent over email, but you still put it on.
Yeah. Exactly. So is this a abbreviation of the internship?
Yeah, Department of Homeland Security. That's like the actual name of it. If you like looked up DHS.
You may want to just write that out just the first time, and then every time you use it after that, you can abbreviate it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Got it.
Should post it on the picture. So that's definitely a good start, but hear me out in terms of, and I would say you can keep that, and that may be like your last sentence, but hear me out as this might be a better way to start off your cover letter. It might be a better idea to maybe start off with some kind of like anecdote in the sense that you're telling a story. So saying something along the lines of, right, something that is important for you in terms of, right, national security. Why are you interested in Homeland Security?
So I should start that off at the bat right there?
Yeah, something along the lines of like, ever since, I got into college, I started getting interested in political science for these reasons. And that has really, that's made me look at different opportunities in Homeland Security in this business. So I would say start off with like a story about who you were when you came into college and how your interests adapted into Homeland Security. Does that make sense?
The cover letter should stay at a page though, right?
Yeah, should stay at a page, yeah. And so then something along the lines of like, so this is how I started, like, starting in freshman year, like, I got really interested in political science for these reasons. And then that made me branch out to want to apply to Homeland Security because I saw that there was a position in this. And what is in the position is, what is it?
It's civil rights and civil liberties.
Yeah. So then for these reasons, I was really interested in civil rights and civil liberties, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And then just say I was interested in that for these reasons, right? And then and that's what's prompted me to apply to this position. And then I would go and say, and then you can kind of give some of this background. As a poli-sci major and, and a minor in business from Loyola, I saw no better option than to apply to this internship. Now, it could end with that, right?
Yep.
And then you would start your next paragraph, which would be, I'm just going to close this out.
Yeah, please, thank you. Because it comes up every day.
My internship. So my internship, you had one or you had two, right?
I had two, but I only really talked about one. So I guess I should start to say my internship.
Yep. My internship this past summer.
Made me agree.
So I would say I believe my internship this past summer makes me a great. I believe my internship, this past summer,
makes me.
Yeah, makes me. So instead of that, I think that should almost be like your last sentence is saying, I believe my internship this past summer makes me a great candidate for your program. I would start it off by saying something along the lines of, last summer I did this, and then go through all the things that you did and list out all those skills. So I'm guessing you did that probably in the next section. So I would start with this. Exactly. I worked as an intern for Chris Smith. Yes,
So
exactly.
So
get rid of
you
can like cut that and maybe put that at the end for right now, and then we can figure out where to put it. But yeah, start off with yeah, that's perfect. That's fine. Just go to the top. Okay, I worked as an intern. I was here last summer.
I worked as an intern last summer.
I worked in last summer for the Chris research. Now, I would give a little bit of background of what the Chris Smith re-election campaign is and some maybe the core values. And if you can, this would be awesome. I didn't read the rest of it, so I don't know if you did. But if you can talk about civil rights and civil liberties and maybe how you touched upon that within this, do you think you did or maybe not? Or do you think you could probably talk about that in a...
I could attempt it, yeah.
Okay, yeah, in a broader sense, if you can make that connection, that's going to be very impressive to them.
Got
it. Task research people events. That's great. So you talk about your research skills. That's this research item. When you say item, what do you mean? This research item. This research.
I was assuming like a general, like just depiction, like item. Like this research. I guess you could say this research varied. Because like item.
I would just say my research tasks.
My research tasks varied
from opposition to events. I would just say to events with the congressman.
Okay.
Instead, could be seen at.
Okay. To events with
the congressman. In addition, I have written memos on my research, which have been sent to the federal office. I'm not just limited to sitting. I'm not just limited to. I would say I'm not just limited to my research analytic skills.
Okay. I'm not just limited to my research analytics. I know I spelled it wrong, but
yeah. Analytics. I'll
just go back to it.
Sometimes when as an interact. And accentuated my effective communication skills.
Where's that? And where's that? At the end.
I would just add that. I would say, I spoke to the Lucasons on behalf of them, which helped me, something along those lines, which helped me build upon my effective communication skills, or accentuated my.
Accentuate. How do you spell it?
ACC.
ACC.
Yeah. TU. AT. ED.
ED. Okay. Yeah, accentuated. Yeah. My communication skills.
Not actuated. Accentuated. I'll show you that right now. This one. Just like that.
And then I say my research skills. I mean my
effective communication skills.
Okay.
Perfect. I'm more of an extrovert, so So tell me the reason why you would write that next sentence. I'm more of an extrovert, so I take.
So I'm not just somebody who just I guess they'd find that on the interview.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I could remove it, but I just want to show that I'm not somebody who's just
right.
Who's not someone who's more techie, more
And I feel like you kind of put that across when you say I'm not just limited to my research analytic skills.
Okay, so just get rid of it.
I would say I'm more of an. I would just say to make yourself more marketable. I would say you're a good combination of the two, a healthy combination between this and that, right? So you can say something like that, or you could take that out and write something else. It's up to you. But I don't think you need that sentence. I would be greatly interested in pursuing an internship for the Department of Homeland Security. I know I'd make a great. I would just say help make the program more competitive, or help make the program.
More competitive.
Yeah. with my unique experience.
Okay.
So that's my previous niche. I do take great interest in federal government. Rights and liberties as Americans. Awesome. I think that's a great paragraph.
Okay, because that was like the paragraph why I was trying to write the beginning where you're like, can you give me the gist of why?
Right. That almost sounds like it. But okay. I think you put it in there in a good spot. But I would have a little bit of that at the top too, talking about that, and maybe you could take some out there and put it up there, and then add more concluding stuff at the bottom there.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you a cover that I wrote really quickly, just to give you like an idea of maybe a good way to end it.
Wow.
Yeah. So like the way that I went about writing this one at the end is, so again, I'm only gonna tell you like what I think is, from my perspective, is really effective in these cover letters, and I've heard that this is a good way to write it. Is starting with I started with an anecdote. Growing up in Midtown Manhattan, I developed a strong sense of interest in the financial industry that surrounds New York, and as a finance major, I saw no better opportunity than to apply to this program. I started my journey into, I'm really telling a story here. I started my journey into finance through the means of engineering. I did all these certain things. I managed all these assets, right? All this stuff. So I'm talking about all this concrete stuff. And you could do the same exact thing where you could say, I was interested in political science, and I started my journey into political science through, right, this Chris Smith re-election campaign, and then ending it with, I want to continue this journey, with Homeland Security, right? And what I want to do is I want to take what I've learned and apply it. And if you can talk about that specifically, they're going to find that so impressive. Like I literally said, for my example, I said my previous experience in pre-construction finances and purchasing management, helped me advance my knowledge and using quantitative-based databases, and has helped me increase my financial literacy, right? And so I think that if you could do that, that would be going over the top. If you can talk about those concrete things that apply, definitely try to do that as well.
Got it.
But besides that, I think you're off to a good start. I would say definitely write this. I can give you my email and you can send this to me after. For this video, if you can just send this to me so I can show them when I'm talking. But just send, and then when you're done with it, just send it to me in the final version.
Gotcha. What's your email?
S Cullity. SCULLITY.
TY?
Yeah, ITY.
Oh, ITY. Okay.
Yeah. Add it.
Oh, 2 L's, right?
2 L's, yeah. Perfect. That's it. Yep. And if you can just send that to me and just say, this is my cover letter.
Cover letter.
Yeah. But besides that, how do you feel about everything else in terms of this job? You feel prepared to do your resume? I think we looked at it. I think it looks good.
Yeah, about a while back we looked at it, so I was fine with it. There's a couple clubs that I did join that I was thinking about adding, but I don't know if I have the space to do it.
Right, yeah. And you might also just want to be careful, too, if you just recently joined those clubs, how well you can talk about them.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell you how many times I went on an interview and they were like, tell us about this club, tell us about this club. And I was like, you really care about the clubs? They do care about the extracurricular commitment. If you can't speak to it, you might want to just leave it off for the time being. And once you, start doing some activities, you can put it on.
Got it.
But yeah, besides that, so you have any other questions or?
No.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. Just real quick, I wanted to print one of my cover letter. I wanted to print a resume real quick. Yes, the firms are here.
We can print that right here.
How easy is it? Because it was really hard last time. The computer.
Oh really?
Was,
we'll do it right now.
Slow. Okay.
We'll do it right now. We'll get it done for you.
All right. So what does I just send it to?
You sign it on the computer. We'll do it there. But
I have to email it to myself, right?
Yeah.
Okay.